Hey, this is Bryan and wanted to jump into another Tribute to My Grandpa this week and wanted to finish up at least this certain round of storytelling sessions. My grandpa, as we were kids, and I've learned from talking with my family that my grandpa did this for all of us kids, so it wasn't just for my sister. But what he did was he recorded his voice, bought a book, recorded himself reading it to us, because as we moved to a different city, he wanted to make sure that he could still read to us at night. And I thought that was pretty cool. So if you've paid attention to some of those sessions, you've seen a little bit longer versions, a couple stories at a time. This one I want to round it out with a little shorter story. Pull your kids up next to you, get them to listen to some just sage voice here. My grandpa's voice is fun. And this is a little book called The Elephant Who Forgot. These books really made a difference to us as kids to be able to hear my grandpa's voice. And I do remember using these tapes. It wasn't like it just came to us and we never used them. But then as I'm older now and I can listen to these, it's just fun to hear the inflections of my grandpa's voice as he really truly does read these stories as if you were sitting next to him. And I think that's pretty cool, like the way he describes the pictures and what's going on in the just in front of the book that he's looking at. So hope you'll enjoy this session. Check it out, and I'll see you next week.
Now, if you want to hear another story, let's get the other book that's called The Elephant Who Forgot. Do you have the book in front of you? The book with the elephant on the front and the little turtle looking up over the log? This is called The Elephant Who Forgot. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Well, this is just a picture of an elephant walking along. We'll have to find out more about it. Let's turn the page. Well, there's the picture of the elephant just like on the front of the book, and the turtle looking up over the log. The Elephant Who Forgot. Turn the page. There's the elephant and some other animals there. What are those animals? There's a bear, and I recognize that giraffe that has a long neck. And there's a monkey, and there's a parrot, but I don't know what that other animal is. It has funny-looking horns on it. Tusker the elephant's memory was really exceptionally fine. He stood on the bank of a cool jungle stream from 11 o'clock until 9. And all the animals from the jungle who needed to know what he knew could line up to ask his advice in exchange for a peanut or two. See that he's got some peanuts in front of him. People give him peanuts so he can tell them things. Turn the page. One morning, a lizard came to wake him and cried, "Tusker, hurry, it's late." As Tusker started to climb out of bed, he suddenly stopped and yelled, "Wait!" Tusker tried to remember all the things that he knew, and his heart immediately sank. He couldn't remember a thing at all. His mind had gone totally blank. Oh, isn't that too bad? Turn the page. It was pride that stopped Tusker admitting that he hadn't a fact in his head. So what if my memories vanished, he thought. I'll just make up some answers instead. What shall I do, said the hippo, to teach my young children to float? Tusker's advice was not very nice. Why bother? Just build them a boat. Ha ha, just build them a boat. They don't think that's a very good answer, do they? Turn the page. The monkeys brought coconuts to him, saying, "How can we open all? They'll fall to the ground and they'll break with the greatest of ease." Oh, that wasn't very good advice, was it? Look at him throwing them around. Coconuts won't break like that. The gorilla's new carriage wasn't working. One wheel just wouldn't turn round. Why bother to mend it? Just pull off the rest and drag it over the ground. Oh, turn the page. And so silly Tusker continued, getting everyone very confused. Coconuts seemed to drop out of the sky, making everyone battered and bruised. The monkeys were tossing him up, trying to break him on the ground. When Tusker saw all the commotion, he knew that he'd surely be blamed. He ran away from all of his friends, feeling foolish and very ashamed. He should have been ashamed, shouldn't he, for telling them things that weren't the truth. He's trying to make believe that he knew when he didn't. Turn the page. Our own problems instead. They decided to bring Tusker home, so they sawed and hammered and nailed to build a magnificent raft out of trees, and down the river they sailed. Look at that, they're making a nice raft to float down the river. The crocodile's bringing them logs, and the parrot is pulling the rope tight to tie the logs together. Everybody is working so hard. And the monkey is hammering, and the mouse or chipmunk, whatever that is holding the nail. And the turtle is just rolling a log over there to help out. And the bear's carrying a log, and the hippopotamus is carrying a rope. Everybody's working so hard. Turn the page. There they go, sailing down the river. They got dizzy from spinning in the rapids. It was like being stirred with a spoon. Then at last they saw Tusker looking very sad on the shore of a lonely lagoon. "Come back, Tusker," they cried. "You can help us paddle back home. It wasn't your fault we got everything wrong, so you don't need to stay here alone." Turn the page. The gorillas have mended their wheel with string and considerable skill. The turtles are teaching the hippos to swim, and the monkeys invented a drill. So now all the beasts are quite proud of the thinking they've learned to do, and Tusker the elephant's memory returned to solve a problem or two. Now isn't that nice? Everybody has to think for themselves. You can't have somebody else thinking everything and you just asking them what to do. You have to think for yourself, don't you? Wasn't that a nice story? That's the end. Good night now.